The Young Women in Politics program is aimed at establishing a network and a platform for young women to be able to leverage on their resource and their capacity to be able to participate in political processes in political parties and on the larger stage at national level. We have a total of 30 young politicians and some political activists from across the country, and maybe who are active in various political parties, and others are activists.
Listening to the introductions makes me so proud and so hopeful for the future of Zambia. You know, when we founded CYLA, we looked forward to being instrumental, ensuring we had youth and women representation within political spheres. And looking at and hearing your introductions makes me confident that in the next cabinet, in the next parliament, in the next council, we are going to have a group of powerful women taking up their space.
The Young Women in Politics program is a very timely program. We are living in a time where we have 8% of women in parliament and 12% of women in local government. Something clearly needs to be done. There are a lot of young women in Zambia that have had achievements within the political space but need mentorship. We also have older women that have achieved certain things. The Young Women in Politics platform is a good platform for that skills sharing and the knowledge sharing to happen. I'm looking forward to it.
The second one is fighting the sexual harassment and sexual exploitation that goes on in our various political parties and just in political spaces. Most of us have experienced that. If you've not experienced it, you've heard a friend who's experienced that and would want to know how best to address that issue. Apart from that, we expect to be mentored on how to manage and carry out a successful political campaign. We know how political campaigns go. There's a lot of violence, a lot of talking. Just how best can we as young politicians go by and carry out a successful political campaign?
The older crop of female politicians have faced these challenges. It's therefore very important that they guide us through our journey. We're able to ask, how do we navigate the sexual harassment or even the sexual exploitation that goes on? How do we challenge the patriarchy within our political parties and even in civic spaces? So, the program for young women in politics is a great platform for us to be guided by those who have taken the path that we now wish to take.
In Parliament right now, we only have one young female politician, which is, what percentage do we give it? 0.
In Zambia, women are a minority in the political spaces. We look at the low levels of numbers at local government level, as well as in National Assembly. And in order for us to bridge some of these gaps, as young women who aspire for public office and the top job one day, we need to ensure that we've got the older generation grooming us and preparing us for these political spaces.
We also expect to learn public speaking skills. Some of us do not have that, we're shy and the like, so we expect to learn how to best do our public speaking and address the audience the best way that we can and appeal to them as we share our ambitions, as we share our aspiration and how best we want to improve their lives and contribute to the betterment of this nation.
Our other expectation is to be taught how to mobilize financial resources and build proper partnerships with funders. You know, I think this is very, very cardinal so that we avoid instances where young women have to sleep with men just to get financial resources.
Like from here, we can develop friendships that would last us a lifetime. Even when we begin probably to participate in politics or elections, our friends will be here where we are. If you see Given is participating or Daliso is participating in an election, I should be there as a sister to share. Please vote for a brilliant young lady. She's done this, we've done this together. Please vote for her, because in our circles there are people that are coming from that area that can support her.
So, like we're saying, we'll be amplifying your voices through various aspects. It will be traditional media and then using digital platforms. So, like podcasts, we're going to have a 10-series podcast that is going to come out of this program, where your stories, you're going to be given a platform to be able to share your story.
I'm looking forward to bridging the gap between the young women and the older women who are already in politics. I'm looking forward to receiving mentorship that will give me a platform and exposure as I advance my career as a young woman in politics.
In rural areas, I emphasize, most women will not know that they actually have a right to participate. They do have a voice to stand out and speak for their fellow women and speak in these, be part of these policy making, things. Positions, sorry.
Participating in this Young Women in Politics fellowship is an honor for me. Having participated in a lot of international political affairs and spaces, I have come to learn there are very few young political women who are actively involved in policy making and understand the role that women play in politics, both at a national and international level. My aspirations from this program is to be able to learn how these different spaces of national and international politics have created effective spaces for young women like me and many other young Zambians to participate effectively and be able to grow in our contribution to sustainable development at all spheres.
As young women in politics, we have all the necessary skills, but I feel there's one skill that we lack mostly, which is public speaking and the confidence to do so. So I feel this program, the Young Women in Politics project, is going to enhance that skill for us and also to enhance our visibility in the political dispensation of Zambia.
Building networks is an integral part of the program. And so on the first day, we have seen young women be able to interact and network from different political parties, different parts of the country. Building this network is integral in that this is the starting point on which they will work on as they work together to be able to work on strategies on how they can overcome the challenges that they face in the political field.
3 things that you're sharing. Number 1, which one was your highest? And what are your secrets in that area? Why are you doing really well in that area? Number 2, which one was your lowest? In fact, okay, let's do a quick round. What were some of the highest areas? What was your highest? Just raise your hand and tell me what was your highest.
So today we kick off the Young Women in Politics program with a session in goal setting. So today the Young Women in Politics will be able to set goals for themselves, and then we're going to use this to be able to connect them and map out what their needs are and what kind of mentors will be suitable for them to be able to bridge the gap between the senior political leaders as well as the young politicians.
It's very important to have intergenerational coexistence and intergenerational dialogue to have more conversations of how to have young women participating in political spaces.